Nowadays, we see big teams such as Barcelona, City, and Liverpool all use inverted fullbacks to gain superiority in certain areas of the field. You want to know why? Well, it's time for me to give you an extra lesson to why inverted fullbacks are so important in modern football.
Extra lesson.
Now, inverted fullbacks are different because they have different purposes. I can break it up into 3 different types. You have inverted fullbacks who are there to control possession, inverted fullbacks who are there to create, and then inverted fullbacks who are there to just sustain space and maintain a specific space. Now, firstly, I want to touch on the ones that just are there just to, sustain possession. And the easiest way to talk about that is talk about Zinchenko's role at Arsenal thus far this season. These inverted fullbacks come very, very, very narrow and even sometimes go all the way over into the other zone of the pitch, the other flank of the pitch, just to get control of the ball and keep things ticking over. These fullbacks are usually midfielders by trade and come into their own as a fullback, so they still have the skills to make and maintain this possession style of football. Zinchenko is the easiest example, but a lot of fullbacks also do this. Cancelo does this somewhat, but Zinchenko is the main example I'd like to use right now because I'm going to touch on Cancelo right now. Now I would like to touch on Cancelo. Cancelo is the inverted fullback. He does all 3 of these things well, but his main purpose of being inverted and being in central zones is to create, because he's one of the best creative defenders. Scratch that, he's one of the best creators in world football. Pep puts him in these central zones as opposed to Walker, for example, who I'll touch on soon. Pep puts him in these central zones because it's then easy for him to roam around, create from central zones. If he wants to go back to the left, he can do that as well. But it's much easier to create from central zones when he's going to play balls over the top, play balls to the right wing, play balls in behind. Cancelo he's just really what an inverted fullback is and what everyone really aims to be. But now to touch on the ones that just maintain space. Now you have the inverted fullbacks, as I said, who maintain space. I like to touch on, there's so many examples of these, but I like to touch on, give a more lengthy explanation as to why this is so important. A lot of turnovers in football happens in central zones. So when you put your fullbacks to occupy central spaces, it then allows your team to stop turnovers at the source and stop transitions at the source. So this is the most popular and useful function of an inverted fullback. So there are so many examples of this. Walker at City, you can use White or Tomiyasu at Arsenal, Malacia and Dalot at Manchester United, Araujo at times, Koundé at times for Barcelona. There are so many examples of this. Now these fullbacks invert, yes, they also, for the defensive side, but it's also to maintain possession in a way, because it's easy when you invert to have more zones to free up your winger, to have more space and isolate against his wingback. Now these are all what an inverted fullback does, and all of them do these things, but they're just asked to do different things more. Now this has been another episode of Extra Lesson. I like to get into more player profiles, so guys, just drop players you want me to really profile, teams you want me to profile, and I'll definitely get onto it. But until next time, I'm out.